Hey guys, AsePlayer here, back at it again with another Stickware Legacy video, and today I'm going to answer a question that I get quite often, which is, which skins are the best to use in Stickware Legacy? So, I'm going to go over my thoughts and opinions. Some of the units have more than one optimal skin, but I'm going to give you my personal preference and explain why, and I'll also show some gameplay footage of those skins in action. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So, number one, we have the Miner, and right now it's uncontested that Leaf is the best skin for him. The other skins don't do anything as of now. For example, Ice, you're not really ever going to be attacking with the Miner, so that's not useful. Stun reduction, bonus damage to deads, and faster attack speed is useless on the Miner as well. The damage reflect is pretty much useless, and so is the user control burn damage. And Vamp is bad in general, but also doesn't help the Miner out at all. So uncontested, Leaf is the cheapest and best option for the Miner. Okay, next we have the Sword Wrath, and the Sword Wrath is kind of unique because he has a few that you could argue are his best. Most of these are optimal. I personally, however, go with the Ice skin for the Sword Wrath, and that's mainly because if you ever use a Sword Wrath, it's usually just early game, and being able to freeze and slow the units down allows you to get free, easy kills and take care of the rest. Now, you could also make the argument for Lava, as the user control burn damage is always good on most attack units. And you can also make the argument for Leaf. Leaf has some good stuff going for it. It's making the Sword Wrath way cheaper and faster to do, and the build cost is even cheaper than it already is. But personally, I'm not too worried about those things, and I like to just use them for the stall factor and go with Ice. But these could also be situational. For example, if you're playing tournament mode, you may want to use the Leaf to get more out quickly, or you might want Lava for, say, Gold Rush. It's up to you, and it could be situational, but overall, Ice will serve you well, and it's honestly one of the best skins in the game right now. So, moving on to the Archidon. It's another one where a few of these could be optimal. However, personally, by a long shot, I think the Lava is the best one for the Archidon. If you hit a headshot and you get that nice burn damage going in, that unit's gonna be dead pretty quick. It's great for poking and great for just, cheesing and sniping the miners, because they will be taking so much extra damage on top of the damage you caused on them. The other argument you could make is Ice. Ice is okay. It'll stall the units, however, it's pretty useless if, for example, you shoot a sword but he's blocking and you'll be frozen in the block formation and take less damage. But burn damage goes through that, so overall, I do think that Lava is better. Vamp could have been really good if it did what it said it did, but archers do not get splash damage with their user shots, so it effectively doesn't do anything. So yeah, once again, personally, if you want to do the most damage, Lava is your best bet. So moving on to the Spiriton, there's a few that you could argue with. I tend to not really pay attention to these skins too much because they're not that big of a deal compared to the Miner and Archer. If you are looking to get quick tanks out, Leaf is the way to go for sure. That's kind of its purpose. You could also make the argument for Lava if you want to reflect some of the damage back on the opponent. Ice doesn't really matter. I mean, you could Rocket instead. Just most of these are interchangeable, honestly. But Leaf is probably better because you can just get them out faster. Obviously, you can use most of these and still get the same effect. Spiritons aren't exactly damage focused in the first place. They're mainly for defense, so yeah, I would just rock Leaf personally. And with the Magi kill, there's been a few skins that you can argue for, but in my opinion, the Lava skin is definitely the best one because not only do you hit 3 units, they also all get burned. Vamp might actually be useful for the magic kill as well, because getting the lifesteal of 3 units might be pretty good, but I mean, overall your magic kill shouldn't be taking damage in the first place, so that's not going to be too common of a situation. You could also make the argument for Savage, because your attack speed means that your explosions are going to come out faster. Ice doesn't really matter, because by the time the stun's over, the freeze would be over. And you could also make the argument for Leaf, just to get them out faster and cheaper. But personally, I would rock the lava and just cause as much damage as possible with it. Okay, now I'm going to show you guys some gameplay examples of these guys in action. We can just briefly test these guys out on the final level. Alright, up first, this isn't how you play the final level, but I will just show the miner in action. So you can see that they are cheaper, they come out faster, and you also get a benefit from walking back because their user control speed is increased, and it's pretty good. You can get your miners out really quick. You think that only 15 gold missing is not that big of a deal, but quite often you will run into situations where you're like so close to a miner, but you just barely miss it because of that 15 gold. Alright, so obviously that's not gonna be a long game. But alright, next we'll test out the Sword Wrath with Ice Skin. And like a 1v1, the Ice Skin will just absolutely demolish the opponent. And having more than one is even better, because you can also get those back shots. Okay, well now the Spiriton doesn't want to attack me, I guess, but that sucks for him. So once that attack goes through, he's essentially not going to throw in another attack, because he's just stun locked, and that's like a really quick way to deal with that. Of course, these are fully upgraded, so they're doing a little better than you might usually be doing, but overall, Sword Wrath, I would use them mostly for 1v1s, and they're pretty much uncontested. Like, there's not too much you can do about getting frozen and slowed down. You can also lead in with the jump attacks and catch up to them. And yeah, just overall, it's really good. And once the final boss does come out, you just have to get one Sword Wrath to stun him infinitely, and that's a free win. So right now, Ice is pretty strong and really good for the Sword Wrath because of how fast their attacks come out, that they can just keep a unit locked up the whole time. And yeah. Alright, so next I'll show off the Archidon. Archidon is one of my favorite units in the game, and it's simply because of how much damage it can do. So we'll show off the 1v1 match against this fully decked Spiriton. So the Archer does have one flaw, which is you need to actually hit the shots for it to matter. But, you know, no matter what, those 32 damage ticks are going to come through unless he's blocking. And it's actually a big deal, because the Archer naturally does like 72 damage or so. And so that's basically a free half an arrow every single time. And when you harass the miners, they take so much damage and then get the fire on them that they're pretty much dead from like 1 or 2 hits, which is really good because you can more effectively cheese the economy. And you can see, like, these Spiritons can't, like, they can barely touch. Everyone just, like, gets immediately decimated. That was a good shot. And also, you got to keep in mind the damage reflect. Damage reflect's pretty strong as well if an Archer does get hit. And you see that Archer died to getting flamed, which is good, because now it's no longer an issue and it's not overwhelming me. So if we take a look, yeah, no, that Archer was going to die to fire damage as well. And you can see with like just one Archer, pretty much. Like, I'm not spending this gold at all. I'm just holding the final level at bay. And that archer died to fire damage as well. It's really good. You just gotta practice on landing those shots. That archer's dead. And I'm not even really trying here, but they're just unable to stop me, and I have like 3,000 gold by now without even making miners. So it's pretty much a free win because it just does so much damage and it's really good. Alright, so next we can, I mean, not much to really show off on the Spiriton early game, but he does come out really fast and he is 50 gold cheaper, which is nothing to sneeze at. This is pretty beneficial after you kind of get your economy on lock. He's still decent. I mean, it's a really fast tank. You can stall with it, and it's cheaper and faster to come out. The one disadvantage to Spiritons is that they kind of take a long time to come out. But with the speed of the queue being increased, it's pretty good. And you can see you can just kind of mess around and kill their economy at the same time. And nothing can really stop you, and it was not that hard to get this thing out. And you can even, when this one's about to die, you can pull out another one if you want to. It's not that big of a cost to you. Like, I can just make another one right now, and it'll come out pretty quick before this guy dies. And shielding is always great for the stall. And yeah, like, this Leaf Spiriton cannot be stopped. And I already got another one to continue stalling if I want. And you can just keep streaming them. You can do whatever you want. It's really easy. The speed increase is a big deal, and it does help them out. Alright, so now we're gonna showcase the Magi kill. It'll take a second, so I'll get back to you guys when I have a proper setup going. Alright, so now that we got a Magi kill out, we can pretty much hold off most attacks that aren't full of ranged units with ease. And that itself just killed everyone with a back shot. So the Magi kill's already pretty strong, and adding on that extra flame if they do survive does help take care of them, because one of the Magi kill's biggest weakness is, of course, being unable to deal with all the extra units out there. And if you do have like giants or something like that that are taking up space so that they're unable to do anything, you can just slowly whittle them away with burn damage. Alright, so we're going to try and fend off these reinforcements. Probably not going to work because I don't have any army out yet. But you see that burn damage, it hurts. It's not insignificant. And we did do a pretty significant dent to these guys without even having an army available. Now, like I said, situation might change depending on what you prefer. There could be something else of value to use. But burn damage is always just guaranteed extra damage to things that don't die immediately to your Magi kill. And there's pretty much no reason not to take advantage of that. See, this giant has mainly been hurt by burn damage this whole time, and he's already like half gone, so it's going pretty well. And Magi kill are pretty powerful all on their own. These guys are mainly dead, and I've just used a couple of Magi kill and not even a full army. If I had a full army, then this would be a guaranteed win, and it's easy as that. So yeah, burn is really good for Magi kill, and that's about it. I really do recommend you guys use this setup or something similar, because I feel like it's one of the best in the game right now. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.